What's going on, Master Connectors? We are on here and ready to rock. Let's go. He challenged me. He said, you should meet 2 or 3 people every day.
We're talking about how to level up on LinkedIn and engagement, being the go-giver, the idea that being open to opportunity.
We're all deal with challenges, but how do you overcome that?
Master Connector with Steve Spiro and Cameron Toth is live on air.
Yes, we are live on air. I just cut that off a little too soon, but what's going on, friends? Steve Spiro, the Master Connector, coming at you live and direct. And yes, I am solo again. Cameron is still enjoying Mexico, but we will see him again next week on the 30th for our next show next week. But we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves. Right now, we're going to talk about this show. And so we appreciate everyone being on here. And obviously, I'm do my best to try to, do all the things that my man Cameron does. But make sure you share this out with community. And we want to know where you're tuning in from. I'm coming in here from Stamford, Connecticut, and we'll find out where Max is hailing from when we get him in here. But definitely, we appreciate everybody here, and we appreciate you showing up. Listen, we're LinkedIn participants. We're not LinkedIn lurkers. So we want you to get in the comments, connect with each other. We don't know you're here, right? We don't know you're here unless you get in and say something in the comments, okay? All I do is get a number. Okay, X number of people are on. I don't know who you are. So get in. We want to see you. Want to hear from you. Your voice matters, okay? So let us know where you're tuning in from, and we're going to get things rolling here. We're going to have a great time here. So let's start this ball here. I want to talk a little bit about. So here's the question for you guys: are you a visionary and a seeker of meaningful connections? So today we're going to unlock the code to unlimited connections. And imagine having a key that unlocks the doors to a realm of boundless possibilities where connections flow effortlessly and opportunities flourish. Sounds pretty crazy, right? Well, that's what we're here to explore. The secrets that will empower you to forge connections that transcend limits. I'm setting some pretty high expectations here, right? In a world awash with superficial interactions, we've got invaluable takeaways that we're going to reshape your destiny here today. All right. And how would you like to make every interaction count? Unlock the doors that you didn't even know existed. That'd be pretty cool, right? When you're driven by a higher purpose, which I personally am, doors open wider and your connections become even more meaningful. So we'll reveal the art of crafting your noble contribution and show how it can transform connection building endeavors. Listen, have you ever wondered how to bridge the gap between mainstream thinking and groundbreaking innovations? Today our guest is going to, take you on a riveting journey through his breakthrough moments, defying conventional wisdom to reshape industries. All right. It's pretty hot. Max, you got some pretty high expectations going on there. We're going to uncover the strategies that propelled him beyond the ordinary and into the realm of extraordinary. He will bare his soul and share the techniques that have kept him authentic throughout his journey. Okay. So the code to connection, it's not just a form, it's a philosophy. It's about the art of connecting on a deeper level, leaving a legacy of meaningful relationships and making a mark that transcends time. So today we're going to guide you and inspire you and equip you with the tools to unlock doors you never thought possible. So get ready to uncover the code to connection. So if you are ready to unlock this code here, and for me to introduce our amazing guest, I want you to type in the comments right now. Type in hashtag let's go. All right. But you ready to put in that? Then again, we're participants here. Everyone's in the comments, right? And I want you to put in let's go. And we're going to get him in the screen here. So I am going to pull him in And here he is. There's the man himself. All right. Well, we got a short bio here, which I appreciate because if it's Cameron, he's good at these long, bios. But so here we go. Max Traylor. Max grew up with a digital scalable residual business mantra and applied that mindset to help brilliant consultants productize. We're gonna talk more about that. Their services and break through the time for dollars plateau. Max and his firm is referred to as the consultant's consultant. He helps companies with business planning to keep them focused, offers simplified services and reduced complexity, and helps companies with a unique personal brand so they could charge a premium. So if you're ready, let's bring him up, Mr. Max.
What's up? Yeah. I'll be your Max Traylor. I'm here.
There you go. All right.
I'm here. Man, I feel like in the intro, I feel like a rock star. Like I feel like I needed a drum set or an electric guitar. And quite the intro. Appreciate you.
Well, too bad we couldn't have got you couldn't have got it, Cameron. Cameron does it in true Michael Buffer style. He's awesome at the intro, but I'm attempting to be as good as him. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate you being on here, sir. Where are you hailing from? I forgot to ask you on the
Mendon, Massachusetts, little town about an hour to the left of Boston.
Nice.
Just when the traffic stops, that's where my wife had all these concentric circles, and I don't make the decisions. I just pay for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand. Trust me, I'm married too. I got one of those too, so I understand. So you're a New Englander like me right now, so that's good. All right. Well, listen, we want to dive into this here, and we're all about stories. We've done quite a few shows on the art of storytelling. So community, I'd love you to type in right now #story. And so Max, we'd love to hear you tell us a little bit about how you grew up and some of the business mantras you heard and why and how they affected you.
Yeah. Well, look, I consider myself to be extremely lucky that I was a fourth generation crazy person, do your own thinger. I don't consider myself an entrepreneur because I have no interest in building other businesses besides my own. Kind of selfish, but no, I'd walk into my dad's office, his home office. This was, late 90s before working from home was cool. And at 5 years old, I was asking my dad where he made the money. And I was staring at the printer. And so he said, no, Max, you can't print money. That's illegal. But I have a digital scalable residual business model, and I'm 5. So, okay, Dad, can we play now? I had no idea what he was talking about. But he would later explain it to me that, he put his personal life first. And then he built a business around his personal life. That's why I went to Disney all the time. I became a great hockey player because he was just around teaching me stuff. And that became really a business mantra for me and something that I wanted to share with everybody else who wasn't as lucky as me growing up to have that sort of influence. And, so later in life, I found myself running a marketing agency, exactly the opposite of putting your personal life first. I mean, top line revenue and head count is going to put you 6 feet under, at least it did me. And so through that experience, I discovered strategy, and I discovered that selling the knowledge instead of the doing of things was the key to a price premium. So you didn't have to work all the time. Also, hello to Texas and everyone in the comments there. And the second thing that happened is other people said, hey, I want to use your strategic process. And so we started licensing them the intellectual property and the systems that we'd created. And voila, my first experience with passive income, mailbox money, however you talk about it, someone else doing the work and you getting paid. Like my dad always said, do something once and get paid forever. So about 8 years ago, I thought to myself, I bet there are companies and people out there that have this knowledge and these systems and these methods, and I could help them turn it into revenue streams that didn't put them 6 feet under and allowed for some time with family and golf.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just again multitasking because Cameron does a lot for me on the show.
I could
So
see you. You got a
yeah,
lot of buttons going on.
yeah, a lot of buttons, a lot of moving parts here, but great stuff. So listen, I could certainly relate. My dad, so I'm the opposite, right? My dad had a liquor store, and this is well before the digital age where you could have a traditional business that was a little bit more digital, and so there was a little more flexibility. But in that industry, in what he did in the retail world, he was working all the time. The business owned him. And I knew that in my gut and instinctively that I didn't want that. He never took sick time, never took vacation, was always working. He was prideful, whatever the word is, he's of his business. In fact, I remember one time I came into the store and he had like a bandage on his hand and a bandage on his head. And I'm like, Dad, what's going on? What happened? Oh, nothing. He didn't want me to, he didn't want me to say anything. And I was like, Dad, what happened? And apparently a guy came into the store with a gun and robbed him. And basically he tried to knock the gun away. I'm like, Dad, I'm the black belt. I'm the martial arts. You're not. What are you doing? And the gun apparently went off, and the bandages were because of the powder burns. And he pointed to the ceiling where the bullet hole was on the ceiling. I'm like, Dad, man. But I learned, listen, you gotta be proud of your business. You gotta fight for your dream. I understood that, but I didn't want to do it. I just didn't see myself going that route. So I went into advertising, right? And I wound up, having an advertising company. And back then, again, that you needed a place. In fact, we wanted to show our clients we were bigger than we were, and because back, this is the tail end of the Man era. We had these, we had to like grow and look big, right? So we leveraged ourselves big time, and again, not the thing that we wanted to do. It wasn't until later in life that I understood the value of passive revenue and being able to duplicate yourself. And I think it's incredible what you're doing and why you're doing it. So, but I'd like to hear a little bit more. So the next question here we want to dig into. So I'm gonna try to push the buttons here. I already did story. So we want to go to tell us, right? So hashtag community, type in hashtag tell us. And we want to know, tell us more why you say you are the consultant's consultant, right? Go into that a little bit more if you don't mind, sir.
Well, when people ask me what I do, it's typically on a tee box. And if you've ever played golf, it's a trick. You're not supposed to talk for, that long. So it's just a short way of saying that I help consultants put their personal life first and build a business around that. And I guess if I was poked and prodded, I'd say I help them position the offering for a price premium, and then build the offering, and then design the sales process to sell it. And I think that's what we're talking about today is how you create an unlimited supply of conversations with ideal clients. Because if you don't have that, you're going to make a lot of bad decisions. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've learned that, it's cliche, but your network is your net worth, right? And you the more the connections, the more the way you're able to leverage them. I don't mean in a manipulative way, but the more that you can engage with your community and those connections, the better you're going to be. In fact, for me, throughout the COVID years, when I started really connecting with my community and my connections, I felt more connected than ever before and had the best financial years than ever because of that concept that you're starting to touch on. So I appreciate your perspective. Well, let's keep it rolling. We want to talk about, we want to talk about challenges. So hashtag community, type in hashtag challenges. And again, want to say, give shout out to Yolanda. We love you, Yolanda. You're awesome. Neil, good to have you on here, sir. I don't think we've seen you on the show before. At least you haven't identified yourself. Nasser, if I'm saying your name right, I hope I am. Appreciate you being on here.
I can vouch for Neil. He's good people.
Good stuff. Well, I look forward to connecting with him. If you say he's good people, I want to connect with him. And it's good to have you on, Marcus, as well. So thank you, Yolanda. Yolanda's first. She's the trigger person. She gets it going. We appreciate you, Yolanda, there leading the way with the in the comments there. So, but I appreciate everyone here. And I know there's a bunch more that are just a little shy, but don't be shy. You're here. We want you on here. But anyway, we want to talk about the next part of this, which is we want to talk a little bit about challenges. And, one of the pillars of our show is having the grit to overcome obstacles and challenges. So everyone has challenges, right? And, life is not just a walk in the park. In fact, crazy story. You ready? Okay. I'm going to be very transparent with you guys right now. You ready? This is a first world problem. It's not a third world problem. But so here I am. I didn't get a chance to clean myself up, shower, and do all the stuff, shave and all that. And so I'm doing this like 20 minutes before the show's, I need to be backstage in the show. But I know typically what it takes to get all that stuff done. So I'm in the shower, and I don't know. I guess the soap. I was alone. Okay, the soap dropped. I had to pick it up. I was alone. Okay, not in another situation. But as I got up, boom! I hit my head right on the faucet and cut my head open. So, but anyway, it's all good. I was able to put a little stuff on it, and it was good to go. So hopefully you won't see a little drip of red coming down on my forehead here. But we all have challenges, right? It could be that stupidity about trying to rush and you hit your head, or it could be other things. But here's my question for you. And again, I want to see your perspective, Max, not mine. How did you break through the traditional Main Street mindset, right? Because that could be something that, can help, affect us, right? We all hear the traditional, go to school, get a good education, get a good job, and all the things that we hear all the time. Talk to us about how you were able to break through those challenges and the mainstream mindset.
Well, we're all sort of indoctrinated in that mainstream mindset. Even for me, I was a fourth generation entrepreneur, and I had a very close relationship with my grandfather. Never met my great grandfather, but every day I witnessed and saw the option to do my own thing. Then I went to the best school in the world for entrepreneurship, Babson College. And even I felt the need to go into corporate after college. And I went straight to New York City and I got a corporate job, but I only lasted 3 months because the first day, the great idea, the whole reason I got hired, I won a national contest for a marketing idea. And I got an automatic A in my capstone college course because the professor dared us to win that competition. So I won it. I got hired. I showed up to do the fun idea. And they said, "Oh, that idea? We can't do that idea." And the moment I looked the boss in the eye and I saw that this was, this organization, and I took it as corporate in general, was designed to shoot down creativity and ideas, I was done with corporate. But then I started my own business in the model of what I saw a business should be: employees, trading time for dollars. And I judged my own progress based on top line revenue and headcount, because that's what everyone at the big events was cheering on with their pom-poms. And I needed to go through years of achieving the objective and watching my life get worse, and watching the dark circles appear under my eyes. And my wife to be was saying, like, are you okay? I'm worried about you. And here I am hitting all the financial goals and doing everything that was typically supposed to be done.
Right.
And so I made a decision that I wanted to be around for my kids, like my dad was around for me.
Sure.
And I knew that traditional model wasn't it. But look, if you're listening to me going, yeah, that sounds good, like, you have to live it. It's so indoctrinated. It sounds so safe and good. Go experience it. Go experience it. But yeah, I've learned through exposure and trial and error. You can make it look however you want to make it look. It's going to be difficult no matter what. So you might as well start with a personal life that you love, because then you win no matter what.
Love that. It's so true, right? I mean, we all have these constraints that we put on each other, on ourselves, right? We all kind of think, okay, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, right? And but I think more now than ever before, I think we're living, we've seen the book, The 10-Hour Work Week, and we see the hybrid workers, the remote workers, and all that. I think that with technology, we see these multimillionaire YouTubers. There's all sorts of things that people are doing now that break the tradition, right? That allow us to really see, if we want to see, that there's other possibilities, right? And
look, if that kid can make millions of dollars unboxing toys,
right,
you could do whatever you want.
Like, you really can. Yeah. But a lot of it is, it's our own limitations, right? And it's, fortunately, and listen, I grew up with those limitations. I grew up seeing the traditional route, and I was programmed that way. But I got around really amazing people. I got around a mentor who had the exact lifestyle that your dad has talked, that you talked about, that your dad had, that you have, right? Where he had, he was there to raise his 3 kids himself. He got, when his kid would get off the bus from school, he was home, and they would sit in front of the fireplace, and he would pour into his son. And I'm sure you lived that, Max, right? That was your life, whether you had a fireplace there or not. I don't know, but regardless, right? And
that was Florida. We don't have fireplaces in Florida.
Probably
we got hoses and pools.
And you got pools, and what do they call that? With a screened in route, the screened in outside. The lanai, right? Lanai, right?
Sure.
I don't know, whatever we call it. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah,
the pool area with no bugs. That's what I call it.
Exactly. But anyway, that's pretty awesome.
Well, I tell you what, I wasn't prepared for, Steve.
Sure.
Nobody mentioned or prepared me for the guilt that comes with me having time to be with family or play golf or whatever, and everybody else working 9 to 5 and being miserable. You're like, I felt self-inflicted guilt. How dare I not work my butt off and be miserable? That took me a while to get over.
Yeah, I get you there. I mean, unfortunately, I grew up in a culture where guilt was part of the culture. So I get the guilt thing for sure.
If you're not miserable, you're lazy.
Yeah, I get it for sure. You got to work. If you're not working hard, you're a lazy slob. You're a slug. Yeah, for sure. I get it. I was there. I lived that too. So, all right. Well, we'll keep the ball rolling here. We want to talk about niche. So, community, when you're ready, I want you to type in hashtag niche or niche. Niche. I don't know how you pronounce it.
I believe.
What is it?
Nichois.
Nichois. There you go. Right. So here's the question. So tell us about the super niche targeting experiments that you referred to at one point for me.
Oh, yeah. Look, so like, if you're going, like, I'm not a fisherman, but if you're going fishing, you can't just chum the water with hot dogs and expect to get, a good dinner. Apparently, you have to choose like a really specific bait, and you have to go to a very specific area, and you have to understand their behavior, and then you can get the fish you want. And so you need conversations with people. Yep. And a conversation with somebody requires you to be very intentional, requires you to understand them, and requires you to know the territory, as my grandfather always said, which for many years I ignored because I could do no wrong, and I was 23, right? We all go through that stage. But yep. You have to know the territory. And so I remember the first 2 years of going out on my own, and every quarter I would choose a very specific audience. Now, my first, because I was coming out of agency world and I wanted to help agencies productize their services. My first book was Agency Survival Guide, How to Productize Your Consulting Services. Yep. But even in the space of marketing agencies, my first target audience, and I spent 3 months going after this target audience. It was HubSpot value-added resellers that were in the platinum tier. So like you can't get more specific than that. I think there was like 20 companies. So for 3 months, I worked on those 20 companies. And then I went to the bottom tier of the HubSpot partners. And then I went to sales consultants. I forget there was a nuance to that, but then I went to sales consultants. And the point was that for 3 months, I was having conversations with the same people. I learned where they hung out. I learned what they responded to. I practiced the language. I actually became knowledgeable in their territory. Now it's sort of a Goldilocks, warm porridge, cold porridge. There were many audiences that I concluded were a complete waste of time. But I learned the benefit of focus, and 90% of the benefit of focus comes from focus.
Yep.
Only 10% is choosing the right thing. And so the mindset from then on was I have never and will never discover my true best target audience. I will continue to do quarterly experiments where I pick something so minute. Like I spent 3 months going after agency owners that had a background in economics. Do you know how hard it is to find agency owners with a background in economics?
No clue. I couldn't.
It's hard. So I paid other people to do it. But round the clock for 3 months, other people were searching down these agency owners. And I got conversations with them because I noticed that having a conversation with a business owner that understood economics, I could make an economics argument. When I was talking to creative agency owners, logic didn't matter. They wanted to draw the pictures.
Oh yeah.
I backed into a corner. Sorry, I can't help you with that. So anyway, it doesn't mean that you can't change your target audience in the future. But if you want conversations, if you want to take control of your sales pipeline and go out and get conversations, you need to go full commit. You need to align your profile. You need to write a book. You need to practice the language, and you need to have friends. Because if you don't know somebody that they know, sorry, you're out.
Absolutely. Hey, I got a question. First of all, I can relate because I was the agency guy, the creative agency guy. So there was a period in my life that if you approached me,
sorry, my bad.
It's okay. It's all good. Hey, listen, that was where I was, right? I wanted to make pretty pictures. You're right. And numbers were, hey, if I did this, money would figure a way, in my pocket somehow, right? But not that was not
do
a good
what
formula.
You love and everything will work out.
Such a load of malarkey, man. Such a load of malarkey. But you got to figure out how you want to live, and then what's the best vehicle in which you're going to get to that lifestyle. That's the way you have to live, not start with the what or the how, like Simon Sinek in his book, Start with Why. You got to start with why and then figure out the what and the how after. People have it reversed, right? They just think, oh, I'll just do what I love, do what's passionate to me. But anyway, we can get off on a tangent on that one. But I want to ask you this: in terms of niching down, I use it occasionally. I'm not great with it, but do you use the LinkedIn polls at all to try to help get some data for yourself in terms of niching down at all, or no?
No, not at all.
Okay.
In fact, I have a pretty strong opinion about that.
Let's hear it.
So people often they'll like, I get it. Yeah. Nichoisa, whatever that word is. I want to do that. Let's go, look out. Let's look outward. Let's do research. No, I hear my grandfather saying, you need to know the territory. Everyone that I've helped really focus on a target audience, we look internal. We look in the past. It's a very simple question. Everyone here in the comments can do this right now. You just think about your best client and replicate exactly that. There's no argument. It's your best client. It's a fact. And someone that's a smart buyer is going to ask you, what have you done for someone like me lately? So I don't care what you choose. When you're successful and you get someone right to the finish line and they're about to cut you a check for $100,000, if you can't get them on the phone with somebody that you've helped that look exactly like them in their situation, that they trust and speaks their language, you're out.
Yeah.
So look inward and just, you don't need to do research. It doesn't need to take a long time. Just say, hey, for 3 months, I am going to try and clone my best client. The industry, the sub-industry, like as tight as you could possibly get, like literally their competitors. Go do that. And I promise you, I can't promise you it'll work long-term, but what I can promise you is you will be cured of not focusing.
I love that. Clone your best. I'm just typing that in. Your best client. I love that.
Stop the research. No research required. Just do that.
So look, guys, community, put in the hashtag if you could figure that out. Put it in. Put something in there. Love to see us do that exercise. I think it's great. Well, Well, we want to keep this rolling, right? So I know you mentioned you have a book. We're going to talk about authentic. One of the pillars of the show and the book is being, connecting authentically and being authentic. And that's why I talked about bumping my head in the shower today. It's just to me, it's who I am, right? But if you haven't had a chance, check out the book. It's great. It's a little shameless plug there going on. In fact, I'll give another shameless plug here. Boom, there you go. So go get the book. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble online. So if you want to get it, I'll put it in the hashtags or I'll put it in the comments at some point. But
yeah, my copy must be lost in the mail there, Steve. I'm looking
well,
around my
we're gonna
desk.
get you a copy.
All right.
Did you order? Or are you asking? You think I was going to send you a book?
No, I don't know. We'll
I should send you a book. You're right. You need to have my book for sure. No, I appreciate that. All right, I just put the link for the Tao of a Master Connector. So, but we're going to get off that. We're going to get into authentic. So, once your community, type in hashtag authentic, and we're going to kind of touch on this a little bit. Yeah. So, throughout all of your techniques, and you've got a bunch, several that you've spoken about. I'm sure there's a lot more. How do you stay authentic? Talk to us about that.
Stay authentic, like being me.
Being you, just not trying to be technique focused, but being real, being like, maybe it's two contradicting thoughts. I don't know, but as I'm, thinking about the show and what I'm going to ask you, that's what came to my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to be someone that I'm not. But again, I think it goes back to the unfair upbringing. Like I was literally the earliest conversations were meant with my upbringing. My parents tried to instill confidence in me that like I am good enough. I'm the champ, and so I've never, aside from that little 3 months that I spent in corporate where people wanted me to be something else and I immediately rejected it and said, absolutely not. I'm going to speak up. You were wrong in that meeting. I don't care if the boss was in that meeting. This is stupid. I don't have the energy to try and be polite or what you deem is appropriate here in this corporate setting. So I've just never, I just don't understand it. I don't have the energy.
Yeah.
My dad would always say that being you will accelerate the relationship.
Yep. Yeah. And I was talking to a group of people last night, and I just was confident because I was being myself. That's it. And because I was confident, because I was being myself, the message was clear. I wasn't trying to be somebody else, just trying to be the best version of me. So I think it's not complicated, right? I think, I wasn't trying to make the question complicated, right?
When you are not authentic, you will notice that everyone is polite to you and everyone sort of likes you. When you are authentic, you will have people that love you and people that can't stand you. Because we are all polar individuals. We are all humans. We're all quirky.
That's it.
And if you just embrace that, you're going to have incredible relationships and you're going to meet people where immediately you're like, all right, you're not my people. That's totally fine. But it's just easier. It's just easier. I don't have the energy to put on a facade.
It's like, they say, when you're lying all the time, it's hard because you got to remember what you lied. But if you just be yourself, you're right. It's just easy. Just simple, easy. All right. We want to keep it rolling. We're going to talk about access, right? Real quick. We'll see if I can squeeze in a second question after that. But so keep this one, if you can, concise, because we're at the bottom of the half hour here. How do you call that? So how do you use a noble contribution to gain unlimited access?
Let's just use really simple terms. You got to be doing something cool and you got to invite people to participate in that something cool thing. So, I've written books. I had a podcast. I did a psychology of consultants study. I do free workshops. All of these are contributions. My blind dedication to providing value to the world. And I call it a noble contribution just because I like having fun words for things. But if you reach out to somebody and you say, hey, I am dedicating to providing this value to the world. In my case, it was helping educate people on how to monetize their knowledge. People that are cool and good customers for you will want to participate. Hey, do you want to come on my podcast and help some people out there in the world? Hey, do you want to contribute to my book? Hey, will you participate in this study I'm doing to help consultants master their own psychology? And so the first thing I did was I started the Beers with Max podcast, and I said, I want to learn and I want to educate, and I'm going to interview people that are really smart. And what I found is that it gave me unlimited access to anyone that I wanted to talk to, as long as they were cool and they believed what I believed, which was also what Simon Sinek says. Your strongest relationships will be with people who believe what you believe. So we all need to be doing something cool.
Yep.
That is noble.
Cool. I guess Nadia loves your hat, Max. Okay, so she's still call out on the hat.
Yeah, Nadia is very cool, and thank you. It is a hat month before I get my hair cut because it's kind of wild. It's COVID 3.0 hairstyle. Yeah,
I gotcha. There you go. All right, listen. Last question, and then I want you to maybe finish with the question. Wrap up with the best way to get for people to get a hold of you. We're going to talk about initiatives, and then I know there's an offer that we want to talk about as well. So let's chat about initiatives. So how do you look for existing initiatives that you can help with?
Yeah, here's the thing. People are going to buy from you for one of three reasons. They see an opportunity, they have a challenge, or they're already committed to solving a problem. That's an initiative. It's defined. They are spending money and time on something. I have found that people almost never react to opportunities. Dreams remain dreams for most people, not Elon Musk, but everyone else. Dreams remain dreams. Challenges. I went almost a year with a sharp pain in my wrist. I'm a golfer. I went a year before I saw a doctor. People are very good about ignoring their challenges.
Yeah.
If you are somebody that performs the magic and has to sell, you deliver and you sell, the name of the game is to spend the least amount of time with people that will never buy from you. So get really good at looking for existing initiatives. Jump onto a moving train. Work with people that have already shown they are willing to spend time and money on solving their problem. And if you can contribute to that equation, you've got a yes or a no today.
Yep. Absolutely.
Initiatives.
Yeah.
Movers and shakers.
Well, speaking of initiatives, I know you have an offer. Tell the community about the offer here. I don't know if it's chopped off, but you give them the best way to get the offer, to take advantage of it. Tell them a little bit about it and best ways to reach you, because we're wrapping up the show here.
Yeah. So on the event on LinkedIn, Steve, can I just post the link to a free copy of my book, my new book, Consultant Survival Guide?
There it is. Look at that.
Yeah, free. Free.
Noble. It's a noble contribution.
It sounds noble, doesn't it? Yeah. So free copy of my book. And look, I got a lot of other resources. If you like, if you think you can stand me, I've got a lot of fun resources. Just shoot me a DM, and whether it's a copy of my Psychology for Consultant Study or any of the other books or workbooks I've done, happy to contribute to Friends of Steve. And LinkedIn is the best place to find me. Max Traylor on LinkedIn. I look like this, so it should be easy to find me.
Hat, no hat, doesn't matter. Yeah.
Hat, no hat. I might have a nice haircut. I don't know.
That's great. Well, part of the initiatives is get yourself a haircut. Clean yourself up a little bit. All right.
Max, clean yourself up. Come on.
Anyway, we appreciate you. This has been great. It's been I believe one of our best episodes yet. Even though Cameron isn't with us here, but appreciate you. It's funny, Max. He wasn't sure. I didn't get into detail, but thought he was going to get double teamed by me and Cameron. So he was like, I don't know if you saw the post community, but he put a post up. Hey, this could be the first time that I've ever been interviewed by two people. So, but you're stuck with me. But this is awesome.
Hey, still looking forward to it. If anyone's co-hosting a podcast out there, I'm open to the idea.
Yeah, for sure. But I just put on, we will be on again next week. Cameron will be back with us for sure on the 30th. And the topic title is Your Story's Not About You. Okay. And that'll be with Mr. Tom Ruwich. And the link to the event is in the comments there that I put in there. So this is great. And again, don't forget to make sure you grab a hold of my book, Again, shameless plug, but I'll do it again. Go get the book. Go grab Max's book too. Yeah, also want to give a shout out to Toth Event Staffing, our sponsor. Thank you, Cameron, and your company for allowing us to have the show and keeping us rolling. But we appreciate you. We're gonna end the show like we always do with a little tradition that we created. We count down from 5 with our fingers, 5 down to 1, and then we shout out "crush it," and then we smash the camera, not literally, but we put our fist in front of the camera. So if you would help me do that, sir, we are just appreciative of everyone here as we end this amazing episode. But just remember, listen, we are the light, right? That is our mantra here. We are the light. Be the light. Go share the good news to people. Tell them about the show. Tell them that they're amazing. Tell them that they can do whatever they put their mind to. Be an uplifter, right? Be an encourager, right? And that's what the show is all about. Our pillar is to be the light, uplift, encourage, and inspire people. So, but let's end the show. And so, if you would participate with me, Max, and we'll play the video and get everyone out. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crush it. There we go. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. Stand by here for the video as I get everything rocking here. And we will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We appreciate you guys big time. Here we go.